One more time.
Guys, I'm going to do this one a little differently. I'm going to step up the tally count tonight. I'm mic'd up.
Let's go.
What up? What up? What up? What the fuck is up? Hey.
Oh, that's one.
There's one. I'll take it in, man. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win tonight.
Episode 1.
Let's go.
Started off 1-0. That's how we do it.
I'm in the lead. Give Frank a couple beers. I might lose. Hey. Hey, we're here, guys. Get Right Fantasy Network. Frank, Anthony, always appreciate you guys. All the work you put in. Today, as we know, we've been on the phone all day talking about it. Excited. It's time.
Let's do it.
It's time. I'm going to get sued for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with that one.
Exactly.
You got to
hey, legal.
At least it had the dunch at the end, right? Like, you
got to do something.
Hey, I'm trying to think. We have a lawyer that watches us, man. Hit us up. Frank, knocking down some Dasani. We see you. I probably can't say that either. All right, guys. Right. Hey, rough start. Hey, rough start to a new a new era, if you guys will. May I? I mean, can I call it a new era?
It is, man. We're here.
Yeah.
Probably gonna get sued for that too. I'm on fire right now.
Everybody coined everything.
No, I'm sure new era is good.
All right. Hey, Get Right Fantasy Network. We're here, guys. Roll your sleeves up. It's going down. We're finally. Hey, we've been waiting for this. We've been wanting to do this. This is how we started, right? It started on our podcast and all this. Like, we're here to talk football. That's what I love to do, right? This is, our outlet. This is what we do. Preseason starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we got swept away with those mocks. They just kind of took off like hotcakes. Now we're back to what we do best.
Just regular.
Dare I say?
Yes, and about football, right? It's football.
Motherfuckers trying to win. That's two.
Let's go.
That's two already tonight, boys. It's gonna be live. We just hit the just hit the 3-minute mark, boys. Preseason starts tomorrow. We got the Washington football team at New England. It's coming to that time, boys.
I'll take it.
We're preseason third week. Third week of the mock draft championship. That's gonna get broke down. We're gonna do the best ball. Man, so many cool people, so many podcasts. We can't even mention all you guys. We love plugging you guys. You guys plug us, same stuff. So we appreciate everybody that's been involved. People have been hosting for us. The love is everywhere. But not for Washington football team. Can't wait to watch tomorrow. They're gonna have a solid team. I don't want to talk about that. But tonight, if I may.
Yes.
We're going to touch a little bit our recent injuries, stuff that people are waiting on. There's so much stuff that we could talk about, but one thing that we're going to mainly focus on is average draft position, ADP, as you'll hear us say it. So we want to go over our quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. We don't really want to go over tight ends, but we will. Yeah. I guess we have to.
Just a couple.
Yeah. We'll make that one quick and sweet, man. Don't unsubscribe.
Their contract.
We have to do it. Yeah. We're not going to talk about kickers. Sorry, Mike.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
It's straight up. Tight end is going to be a shit show. But yeah, so we want to go over players we want to target, players we want to avoid. We already talked about the Tournament of Champions that we have going on right now. And if you just kind of want to let people know, just give us a little background on the Tournament of Champions, what's going on, how you get in, that sort of thing.
Definitely. Yeah. So thanks everybody that has come out to those. We definitely want, new drafters coming out. Basically, we're running a mock draft tournament. We do satellite drafts Monday through Thursday, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. The top three of those drafters all then come together for a 12-team championship mock on Friday, also at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern. And they draft for prizes, man. We're giving away stuff. It's exciting. It's competitive drafting at its finest.
Tell them
Getting
you're
these
giving away
mocks.
cash.
It's
People like to hear the cash word.
The cash.
Hey,
money,
we'll
man.
get there. Hey,
we'll
first
get
is
there.
first is going to be the pride. So check it out. You got 12 different people drafting their teams 4 nights a week. That's 48 people. We're close to 50 people a week. We're running it for 4 weeks. We have even more stuff because it's even going to be more of the championship. We're going to take top 3 people from everyone.
From all the championship mocks. So the top 3 of the championship mocks, the guys that win every Friday, are going to come together.
They don't know this yet.
For a best ball league to play for a chance for $50.
Funded by Frank. You get 1 week free stay with Frank.
Room and board.
For the guy that
flying you out.
all expenses paid.
Yeah, except for the guy who
at Frank's house.
I like that.
Exactly.
He has to walk. He has to use Uber.
Hey, Frank actually put the guy that had Deshaun. He put him as number 1 with Aaron Rodgers. So, hey, we're changing, guys. We're softening up.
Once Aaron Rodgers starts playing and he signed up, it's a different ball game. It was, you know what I mean? It was always, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? Then we knew what he was going to do. Then it was easy to decide, right?
All right, Frank, we'll get there. Frank, we'll get there. Hey, we're going to get there, my man. My God. Hey, third place.
Let's go.
Hey, let's break down. So, if you win the Tournament of Championships during the week, not the main championship game that we're going to have, and do you want to break down the prizes real quick?
For sure.
And then how do they get in?
Yeah, if you make it to the draft on Friday, for third place, you get the best ball entry that we just talked about. That's the only thing you get for third. You do get a chance still to play for that $50. If you get second place, you get the best ball entry. Plus, you get a Get Right T-shirt. Anyone rocking one tonight? Oh, we don't got any of us rocking one tonight. So you get a T-shirt, or you get $20 to spend on our online store to buy your own Get Right swag. First place gets that best ball entry, plus a chance to get a spot in our listener league, our redraft listener league, and they get $25 cash money, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, whatever it is. We're gonna get it to you.
Guys, we're going to change it right now.
Let's do it.
You're getting $20 steez. It's not going to be swag. I feel like we're a little too we can't. Whatever. We'll talk later. So how do you get in, Ant?
Just hit us up, man. Hit us up on Twitter.
Hey, that's it, guys.
Get a hold of us. That's all you got to do. We'll get you in. We have them. We open the mocks up every morning. We open them up a couple hours before the draft starts. They fill really quickly. So if you do want to get in, you want to get that early invite, hit us up now. All of our contact info is in the description. So just click that, hit us up from there.
However you know us, that's how you hit us up. We won't go over every. All right, might as well. Hey, third place, you're going to get best ball entry. All right. Hey, you're getting cash. Hey, I'm telling you, you guys are breaking my pockets right now. So. The last thing too, so
I just added that all up, and that's a lot of money we're giving out, but we appreciate
you
guys.
Are you gonna put the ambassadors in the leagues down below? Because we got those ambassadors in that notes, and somebody skipped right over that part.
It's just an outline. We'll get there. We always love for the ambassadors, man. No, they got good love. Frank's gonna work on getting you guys on the website. Send us an email with your avatar, your picture, whatever name you want, your handle. And we'll
talk to you guys indirectly. Basically, what we're saying is, Get Right Fantasy Network. We're always hiring. So if you feel like you have something that you could bring to the table, there's a lot of stuff. Like we have a whole lot of ideas. We don't have a whole lot of time between all of us. Like we're putting in. It's a lot of work to do every one of these because we're trying to give you guys quality content. We're running 5 mocks a week, so we appreciate everybody that's been helping us. That sort of thing. Hit us up, man. If you're interested, you ever thought about it, it doesn't have to be you being on camera. We have 2 awesome writers. Shout out Mike, Andrew. Mike kind of is. Hey, Mike does it all, right? Hey, Mike's been holding it down.
General manager of sorts.
Hey, this dude, he's the kind of guy that's going to take your job. He's like, hey, that backup quarterback that's doing better than you, and you're like, oh shit, I better pick it up. Nah, but all right, hey, done. Hey, all the shameless plugs, right? Hey,
we gotta get it in there. Let's talk football.
Hey, we keep doing it. We're not gonna even throw in the like and subscribe on this one, guys. Let's keep that for later. Kind of some major injury. Do we just want to jump into injuries?
Let's do it, man. That's the place I want to start. That's where the news comes from. That's where it's all about.
So I'm gonna throw some names out there, and I love your take. You're like, if I have a medical question, I usually go to Ant. Frank, I know you know a lot about this kind of stuff. The big one, and we're not going to talk like obviously Cam Akers, right? And then we have the lingering Dak issue, but Dak's throwing again, that sort of stuff. And we're going to stay away from like kickers, Will Lutz, all that kind of stuff. But Justin Jefferson, Calbeck, I hope you're listening. I hope you are. But Justin Jefferson, yeah, like, what's going on there?
Yeah, man. So as I'm sure, everybody knows or has seen the video by now, he went down with that shoulder injury. Basically, at this point, they're saying it's an AC joint sprain. According to Tom Pelissero on his Twitter, they say he's in good spirits. And, basically saying that if it was a regular season week, he would be practicing and possibly play. So I don't know how much of that is kind of still coach speak at this time. We saw how much pain he was kind of writhing with there. Am I worried? You never know. Those shoulders are tricky. You may not get, that ceiling production out of the gate. But I think by the time he hits a bye week, he heals up over the course of the year. He's still a young guy. I think he's fine, for playoffs. So it's not affecting his draft stock to me at all.
Yeah, and I think that the coaches said that because they'll give him that shot when they go into halftime or put him under the tent and send him back out there. We know that cortisone shot would make me feel no pain, and then you're good for the game at least.
I need some cortisone right now. I'm not even playing anything.
Hey, why not? That was the thing back in the day, even, and it still is. Just take him into the tent. Oh, that hurts a little bit. Here you go. Let's go. Get back out there, boys.
Hey, and they got more than that right now. Hey, I need whatever they have. These dudes are always ready to go. I need like sniffing salts before we get on air and stuff. Another big one that we've seen is Rashad Bateman. And I'm trying to stick to draft boards, people that we're seeing being drafted, and kind of the effect it'll have. We're going to get into obviously like average draft position, who we like, who we don't like, that sort of thing. But just a couple recent ones. And we missed, so it's almost like I want to go backwards and start talking about these guys, but let's just kind of focus on this week, what we've seen. Hopefully you guys have been keeping track because we're going to be breaking this down every week, so you won't have to this year. One-stop shop.
Definitely.
Shameless plug.
Definitely. No, man. So Rashad Bateman, Ian Rappaport says that he suffered somewhat of a significant groin injury, but does have a chance for week 1. It's kind of, troublesome when you hear obviously the word significant or somewhat significant. You'd rather just hear kind of tweak or, we're just taking caution. But they're saying, he is expected to miss a number of weeks with a soft tissue leg injury. But they're saying it's weeks and not months. So again, this is a guy, who's going, anywhere from the 10th to, 13th round. But he was kind of one of those, sleeper pieces that, has been slowly climbing up your draft board. So I think this, news might kind of keep him down in that range where you were comfortable getting him anyway. So we'll see, we'll see what happens when it comes draft day, what we're hearing in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, soft tissue is very tricky. They always say, like you're saying, they want to be cautious or something like that. You want to hear those kind of words versus significant. And some guys come back from him pretty quickly. Other guys, it's just a lingering season-long injury that just kind of they manage, get less reps or whatever it is, just so that they can, play game day and be ready for that, and kind of just get through the weeks. So it does, as you mentioned, stop the ADP. I would say it's no longer right. Obviously, it's where it hit the peak, basically, for him. If not, it might even go down depending on how the weeks progress, right? If we don't see him or doesn't get back up to playing soon, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm interested to see it. So I said we weren't going to talk about Cam Akers, but I'm kind of just curious what your guys' thoughts are in the backfield. I've already given my take on what I think of Darrell Henderson. Darrell, I hope you're not watching. It wasn't great, but I'm just yeah. Hey, what do you guys think? What have you guys been seeing?
I've seen people start taking them really high, even as their second, RB, and even in our mock drafts, I'm like surprised that he's climbed so fast so quickly, for a guy who's never proven to be the number one ball carrier. And when he did get the opportunity, he didn't do very well at it. And he's still on the same team in the same situation. I don't think it's going to improve, and I think we've already talked about Zane Jones, and we're gonna let Anthony mention a couple of things about him. But I think you're definitely looking at a running back by committee over there for sure this year. At some point, he's not going to just be the man. And I hope people don't overdraft him or early draft him. You got to pump the brakes, slow down. Let's see if he's really the man.
Yeah, and I think we kind of talked about this on, one of our last episodes, when we were talking about that injury. To me, if Darrell Henderson was that guy, I would assume that he would have, taken over, or would have been a more RBBC type, approach that we would have been hearing. We would have been drafting Cam Akers as this, potential RB1 breakout this year, if Henderson was any type of, real threat in that backfield. So I think it is going to be a committee approach. They do seem, pretty confident with, Henderson, and, creeping up here now Jones, saying he's going to carve himself out a role. That's what, McVay was saying today. And, just said he could be someone he could, count on throughout the season. So, and the most important thing I think that he said today was the fact that he said that he praised his ability in pass protection. So I think that's the most important part, because obviously protecting your quarterback is one of the biggest things. And if we know if you can't protect the quarterback, you're not making it on the field at that time.
Yeah, see, I'd be more interested in taking a late round flyer on him versus an earlier pick or even a middle round pick on Henderson. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather take 11th, 12th round pick on Xavier Jones just to get him on my team, my bench, hold him, see what happens, see if he doesn't carve out a bigger piece than Henderson even.
So, hey, speaking of quarterbacks, got to protect the quarterback. I don't know why, man. My least favorite person in the NFL. I know why. He's soft. That's why.
He's soft.
Carson Wentz.
Sharman.
What's the deal with him? Hey, wet toilet paper Wentz.
Sharman Wentz. That's terrible. Yeah, man. So after all this whole thing, thinking he's going to be out anywhere from, what were they saying, 5 to 12 weeks potentially, missing the start of the season, comes out today that Carson Wentz is trending towards playing week 1. So he went under surgery just back on the 2nd, August 2nd. And he was at camp today, didn't even have a walking boot on. They said he wasn't even limping around. So
that's a joke.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, he knows, his time, could potentially be limited. He has a big thing to prove. So maybe he's doing what he can to get healthy and get back out on the field. So just keep an eye on it.
I'd be impressed if he does it that fast, because it sounded like he was going to be mid-season into the, getting back into football. All of a sudden, he's now going to be available for week 1. Like, what kind of doctor do he have? Like, how did that change so quickly? But, it'd be nice to see him on the field. It certainly help the team, because nobody's going to go pick up Jacob Eason and Sam Ellinger here. They're the guys that.
Hey, I picked up Eason.
Spot, right? Did you really?
I picked him up, actually. Yeah, I did. In our dynasty league.
Yeah.
Because I knew. I was like, Carson is. Hey, if you look at my picks, and look what's going on. Hey, just read what's going on. Everything down to the end. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
I'm
you're
like,
not
it's
picking
like
them up in the redraft league, right? You're picking up in a dynasty league so that you can get them for the future, not necessarily a redraft league, are you?
I would never pick them up. Hey, that was a silly question.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. That's my point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, not for redraft, but for
Dynasty would
dynasty.
be
Like
fine.
I know this is not Carson
Yeah.
Wentz's shop. Like I would have more faith. I would rather pick up Phillip Rivers than Carson Wentz.
There you
go.
Whatever, guys. Hey, so somebody we've all kind of agreed on. One of our late round. If people are sleeping on him, Zach Moss.
Yeah,
I know. I'm known to take both of them. I'll take Singletary and Moss. So, I obviously he went down, right? He's day to day right now. What do we know about that situation?
Yeah, they're saying it, could be minor, but obviously just kind of hampers his ability to be out there with the offense and start, just kind of getting those reps. They did say Singletary, actually started camp out strong, came in. They said he looked good. He was looking fast, feeling good. Again, this is all just fluff, stuff to talk about. But again, they're on a high-powered offense. They have legit quarterback behind them. They have legit, weapon on the outside with Diggs. So there's, production to be had in that offense. So, we'll see what happens. But, I think he's one of the bigger kind of targets, which, not to kind of segue us there, but, that you're looking for, especially if you kind of go zero RB strategy. So, he's one of those guys you'd have to be happy with getting down there as, RB1, RB2 even. Depending on how zero RB you go.
Yeah. There's levels to this, boys.
Definitely.
All right, hey. We did this, right? We did the injuries. Can we jump into what we came to do?
Let's do it.
So what we're going to do today, let's break down players we want to target, players we want to avoid. We're going against their average draft pick, like we said, like their average draft position. And we want to break it down from quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. My goal of this show, I'm already at 3. I want you guys to go at it to where I'm not the top F-bomb thrower tonight because, hey, things may get heated. Who knows? I'm tearing you guys apart, right? I got stats.
Oh, let's go.
I didn't want to be a stat reader, but
if it comes to it, we can go.
Yeah, I'm ready. That's all I'm saying. I got tabs open. I got multiple notebooks. I got 2 pens. Hey, who knows? Hey, I'm writing with both hands right now. Hey, boys, you ready? Frank?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready. I got some guys I want to talk about here.
Let's get some F-bombs out of you, Frank.
Not drinking tonight, man. No. I'm giving my liver a break.
Hey. So do we want to jump it off with quarterbacks? And Frank, I want to give it to you. What quarterback are you high on compared to the ADP?
Just because of the ADP, I mean, honestly, I think he's going to have a nice, awesome year. Seems to be always underrated, Ryan Tannehill. And at 85 ADP, I think he's a steal. You could kind of wait for him, and obviously in a redraft league in the single QB, and even take him as a second QB in a super flex league. I think he's going to have a good year. I think it's all set up just right. You got AJ Brown, the new tool over there with Julio Jones. So things are lighting up for him. Obviously, Derrick Henry clears the way for him on the field. So and that offense has been pumping all on cylinders. So I think it's going to have another good year. And he slowly just does his thing and kind of is under the radar. I think
Facts. And
yeah, no, he was definitely on my list too. But I'll go with
Mike's too. I think we all had him on there.
Yeah, I think where he's going is great. People know not to reach for him, so you can still get that value, build out those skill positions.
Nobody jumps up for that guy.
Yeah, and I think
he
a guy
does
that's
solid
right on
every year.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank.
I'm like, let me.
Frank, it's Anthony's turn.
You guys can keep talking. I don't know why you guys always stop. But
He's good. No, I
ahead.
want them to hear you when you're speaking. You got good takes. No, but a guy that's going right in that same level is to me Matthew Stafford. So if you get sniped for Tannehill, if you like him better, I think you.
Did you just drop middle names?
No, I said Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
I used full name. I didn't go Matt Stafford, Matty S. But I'm going with him, especially with the loss of Akers. I think they're going to have to count on his arm a little more. We know this guy can fling the ball all over the place. He's thrown to one of our favorites, Bobby Trees. Also has Cooper Kupp, who's going
not our favorites. Your
one of our favorites. 2/3 of our favorites, Bobby Trees. Maybe I'm the only Bobby Trees liker here. I don't know. But I like him. A good possession receiver. I think they have a good, opportunity there. They got Higbee in that tight end spot. And I think they're gonna have to throw. They're playing in a tough division against good defenses. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna break some news. Right now, Frank, if I'm allowed to talk. I'm just messing with you, Frank. Hey, do you guys know Matthew Stafford's real name is not Matthew Stafford? We're talking about John Stafford. John Matthew Stafford.
Oh, that's where it came from. This guy's diving deep in the research.
I'm telling you, man, we're breaking news. So if you're still watching at the 26-minute mark, just know. Hey, and I love how you said the Stafford pick. I love that. You already know that's somebody that I've been on. Tannehill, same way. So even on these super flex leagues, you're grabbing those two QBs, solid. I had so many, it was hard for me to kind of break it down because I like, Baker where he's at being the 16th rake, Cam being 27, Taysom being 30th. Stafford is rated as the 11th best quarterback, and he's on a better team. Him and Deshaun are vibing, all that kind of stuff. But since you guys took my guys, I'm going to go with none other than Frank. Are you listening? Deshaun Watson. Hey, Deshaun Watson. Hey, until you tell me he's not going to play and he's ranked as a 17th ADP quarterback, get out of here. Hey, give me this guy. He's top 3, top 4.
He's literally on my players to avoid since you're bringing him up. Literally on the players to avoid.
All right, let's hear it. We all could have guessed that was your players to avoid.
Until I hear he's actually playing, just because he shows up to practice not to get fined doesn't mean he's even suiting up or doing anything with his other, teammates that he doesn't even want to be on because he wants to be traded from the team and he's getting more accusations. This thing's going for the long term. He's not going to play this year. Gentleman's bet. Let's do it. He's not playing.
We already have tons of gentlemen's bets.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think there's a ton of bets out there. I think anytime you've thrown out money against that, we've taken it, or at least he has.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll take more.
Hey, I always talk about the injunctions that they did for Zeke. Can I go now, Frank?
Yeah, well, it was done.
Fucking guy. Hey, that's poor.
He started so it's okay.
Hey, I'm gonna throw the fifth. Hey, same shit as Zeke. Hey, Zeke got injunctions. He pushed it out. They could pick when his suspension's gonna be. So if he decides he wants to play, he's already there. He's not gonna get fined. You're halfway there. Then you're gonna pick it up. You got your boys talking to you. You're on the field. Yeah, you have to be really hard-headed to not play. There's not other teams that are going to give what they're asking for him.
So
he's
where's
there.
He going to play then?
There.
He's not playing in Houston, right?
You're not I'm saying he's playing in Houston. You gotta listen. You gotta listen sometimes, Frank. I'm telling you right now. He's on the field with his boys.
He's spitting that fire right now, Frank.
No,
he's on the field with his boys.
He's not on the field.
My God. Hey, let's just go to your players to avoid, Frank.
Who else you got besides Watson?
Him.
Or is it my turn?
Number one.
That's it. All right, I'm going with mine. I'm going to Jalen Hurts.
No. I'll give you another.
I like that, Anthony.
Quarterbacks and you brought. What?
I'll let him go. Go ahead.
Hey, again.
No. You already started. You already mentioned who you were going to talk about. It's all good. No.
This is a Frank show.
I'm surprised. I want to hear this now.
All right, so I'm going Jalen Hurts, man. This guy's going ADP QB 12 off the board right now, right after Stafford and right after Burrow. Right before Burrow. I'm sorry. I'm taking Burrow before him. I'm
Ridiculous.
taking Trey Law, T Law right there. I'm taking him probably over him. The only person I'd probably even take Matt Ryan over him. I'm taking Baker over him. I'm taking Kirk Cousins. I think I have him as like my QB 25 or something like that. I don't see it there yet. I mean, I know he has the rushing upside that can, potentially get him there. And, he does have a potentially high ceiling. But can you name the 3 receivers that they have over there? We don't even know which tight end is going to be playing. Obviously, it's probably going to be Goddard, but they still just have that whole weird situation where it's still there, just kind of hanging around. It's just, I don't know what's going on there, man. I'm staying away from that.
I don't have a problem with him. I had him last year on my team, and he played well. And I think he's an up and comer. And I think you're, I've given him credit for what he's done and what he will be doing. He's fast on his feet, dude. He's the next Lamar Jackson.
Ooh.
Oh, God. Lamar Jackson did it as a rookie. So it's like we're waiting. But Zach Ertz is ranked way higher. If we're going on Fantasy Pros rankings, Zach Ertz is up there. He's, third, sixth, seventh. He's 7th on the list. And then you got Goddard somewhere in the 12th, 13th. So nobody knows what's going on there.
No idea.
Nobody knows. And again, we are only talking about tight ends. I get that. Then you got Miles Sanders is going to stay healthy. And then I dare somebody to Frank, name 3 wide receivers.
I mean,
like Anthony said, I can't. Hey, who cares? That's who the receivers are.
Who's your favorite guy?
Anthony all the time.
Come on, Rager, Fulgham. Come on, guys.
Jalen Rager, yeah. That was full.
Yeah, Anthony's sleeper. Anthony's sleeper last year.
Yeah. Well, he did. He slept all the way to the end.
Yeah, he did.
He never woke up.
Fulgham was my boy, and he's just not even on draft charts this year.
Yeah.
I named a team after him.
So that's where I'm at.
Honestly, if we're talking about draft positions, 2 that stood out to me, and it was just diving into the stats.
One of the ones that we didn't even mention was Devontae Smith, the new rookie over there that just jumped in that was playing with Jalen Hurts in the past, remember? In college, they played together or whatever it was. So I think there's going to be a connection there. I don't know. I'm just not with Anthony's whole, not loving Jalen Hurts. But he did mention something and even said he would take Trey Lance over them. And he's on my
pick me up
list anymore because it looks like Trey Lance is not even going to be having any chance to be playing this year. It really sounds like it's going to be a Jimmy Garoppolo show. I'd rather have Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, who are being drafted after him. And Taysom Hill, he's going to be playing over there with New Orleans. And he's going to have Michael Thomas over there and Alvin Kamara. So, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I'd rather take a flyer at Jameis. Jameis is going, his ADP is at 250. Like, you know what I mean? Like, way down there. So I would rather have either one of those guys over Trey Lance.
Yeah, but
he's going at 134.
I was saying Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville.
Oh, Trevor Lawrence?
Number 1. Yeah.
Oh, either way. But the guy I'm talking about is Trey Lance. T-Law.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
That's all the same guy.
They're similar. We're still learning them all. They're rookies. They're all rookies. We're still learning, man. We're still learning.
But I'm just saying in general, though, because it doesn't seem like Trey Lance is getting drafted still really high. And it's going to be the Jimmy G show, I think, this year. And the only way he's going to get the start is if Jimmy G gets hurt or just has a terrible season. I don't think that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, at some point, Taysom Hill is going to be, on the like as Dustin says, he calls him the starter, so he really wants him to be the starter. And Jameis Winston, I think, has a shot. Also, who knows what happens over there? We'll find out soon enough. These next 2 couple preseason games will be very telling.
Absolutely, that's definitely one of the games I'm looking forward to watching and just seeing how they look if they get some reps out there. So.
See what New Orleans does, how they run their offense, what's going to happen over there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't expect to see much Kamara, but we'll see what.
And here's one of the guys that I think is going to be hurt with that. I think Michael Thomas is going to be hurt more than Kamara. But it didn't bode well for Kamara when Taysom did start. When last year when Drew Brees went down with that surgery on his thumb.
Yep. No, that's cool. So we got through all of our targets and avoids for the QB position. So I think, that covers it. Obviously, we have, other guys we could, sit here and break down every pro and con of every quarterback that we have, but we just wanted to kind of give you guys some ideas of some of the guys that we're looking at to again either target or just kind of fade. So is what it is. All right, man. So let's move on to running backs. You want to start with target or avoid for the running backs? Kind of discussion you want to have?
I want to target because I think that Zeke's being undersold. I mean, I know that he had a couple of bad seasons these last 2 seasons. He's been on the decline. Let's face it, right? He hasn't been what he did with the first couple of years he was in the league. But I think the fire has been sparked in him again. He's coming in, at the same weight that he played in Oklahoma his freshman year. I haven't been at that same weight in years. I just think he's renewed, like a renewed spirit into the team. He's not down at Cabo practicing this year. He's actually taking it seriously, and I think it had a lot to do with Dak going down. They're very close. They're good buddies, and the whole situation that's going on in Dallas, and he just wants to be there so that he could actually support the team and do something. And I think he's just being underdrafted. I think he could go ahead of some of the other guys that are being drafted ahead of him. But I mean, obviously, it's a top guy. It's not like it's a secret, but I just think he's going to be having a comeback year this year. You know what I mean? Getting around the 7th right now, I would actually feel comfortable moving Kamara back and some of these other guys just to sneak in the ahead of that.
Nice. No, and that's a good take. I agree with you. As far as I have Zeke as my RB7 overall, and it looks like he was actually taken at the 1-6 spot in today's satellite mock. So I'm sure for you, there's at least other people out there that are kind of leaning your way as well too. So who knows, where that draft stock's going to be, once we actually start, getting into real drafts. If you have already been drafting or have draft already, I'm sure you got, great value on him. We've seen him go even in the second round, a couple months ago. So again, just depending on when you were drafting or if you're doing kind of a dynasty startup, you probably got some good value there. One of my guys that I'm looking to target based on their ADP right now, I'm going to kind of, since you kind of covered one of those top guys, I'm going to go down here and get the guy I've been kind of talking about since we kind of started this channel, in Raheem Mostert. Right now, he's going as the RB26 off the board right now, just out of that RB2 range, kind of high end RB3. I think if you can get that value for him, it's fantastic. I think he has top 15 upside. Of course, if he can stay healthy. I have him ranked as my RB20 overall. So I'm a good 6 spots ahead on that. So he's one of those guys where I think San Francisco runs the ball enough. And again, if he can stay healthy, which we say with a lot of people, he hasn't proven to do so, but if he can, I think he can outperform that draft position. So he's the guy I'm looking to get as an RB3.
Yeah, and he does have that moniker of the injury-prone guy, right? So as long as he can get past that, I think he's been falling in way too low in drafts for the value you could get out of the guy. I mean, like I said, some of the guys took him in the 7th round, I believe 7th or 8th round, and I was like, man, they just got an RB1 that late. Like that's incredible. You know what I mean? Like I think that's incredible value that you get out of that position. The guy's definitely going to perform well for you as long as he's on the field, right? As long as he's on the field.
Technical difficulties.
No, it's cool. And he went almost, I think, RB 27, 28 in our draft today as well. So again, he's kind of down in that spot. And again, I just think he could definitely produce a couple spots higher than that.
And another guy that I like, and I think we've mentioned him a couple of times, that I would be targeting, that I'm looking to get, is Mike Davis. And it's simply because I liked how he performed after Christian McCaffrey went down. I thought he had some very good weeks in there. I know that they weren't all stellar, but they're not all winners, and I think now that he'll get the starting spot over in Atlanta, there's really nobody behind him. Javian Hawkins, Quadric Wilson, Deontay Foreman. I don't think anybody's going to take the job away from him. They got,
Allison will.
Andre Allison. I don't know. I'm not.
You wanted
sold
to
on
trade
that.
me for him. You wanted to trade me for him.
Yeah, in a dynasty league for a rookie. Yes.
He's not a rookie,
Not
but
a
yes,
draft.
I get you.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised when you guys hear that name again.
Right.
Yeah, you heard it here first, right? Quadric Wilson. So I mean, I just feel comfortable with that guy, and I think he's going to do well in Atlanta. I think that having Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts, having there as well as Russell Gage, and I think it's going to be a good offense to be on. You know what I mean? That offense that scores that gets you points, and that's basically what you want. Everybody used to pick up the New England players because they were always scoring points, right? I mean, that's you want to be on those higher power offense that just gets those points. So I think that's going to be a good year for them.
Very nice.
Yeah, I think we all kind of agree. Like, you're right. With the Patriots, there was a time like pick up anybody and everybody you can on the Patriots. Now it's obviously a different situation. I like Cam. I still do like Cam.
On KC.
Yeah, so we're on, just to get you caught up, we're on running backs. We just did our running backs to target.
That's what I was gonna say. Hey, New England running backs, we all agree. Like Damian, I'm not big on Damian. I'm not gonna draft Damian. Sonny Michel is somebody I was very high on. I'm not gonna draft him either. It's just the Patriots are gonna scheme everybody. They're gonna target certain players. It's gonna be a new person every week. It's just a Bill Belichick effect, in my opinion. So, like, we had that time with the Patriots where it was pick up anybody and everybody. Yes, the Chiefs have that too, except for running back, in my opinion, again. Because look at look at the depth of running backs they had last year. Like, ridiculous. Obviously a lot older, right? Shady McCoy, LaShawn, for those that don't know. Le'Veon Bell, you know what I mean? Like Damian, they had Yeah. So Damian, I know we're talking about running backs. Like, that's somebody that I'm not really gonna mess with. So I don't know. I'm not messing with these Patriot running backs.
Nice. So yeah, so you want to go to avoid, or I mean, you were kind of saying it right now a little bit, but Frank, who's some running backs you had to avoid?
Well, I'm still agreeing with Mike and Sanders over there. Unfortunately, I wish I would have had another super guy there to avoid. But I mean, some of these other guys are, they're hopefuls. I mean, we were just talking, like he mentioned, Damian Harris. I got more guys that I want to take flyers on, like Michael Carter later on in the rounds. That's somebody I'd want to join the team. I guess I'm better at saying what avoid is like Baltimore's running backs, Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. That's literally running backs I'd avoid. I don't want those guys on my team. They don't seem to get the ball at the red zone, and Lamar seems to either run it in or pass it some late second. So the running backs on that team don't seem to score a lot of touchdowns, and those are the ones I'd rather avoid, is Baltimore.
Seems like Lamar should be moving up, in my opinion. That dude's a playmaker.
Yeah.
Interestingly, it's funny that you say that. On my new rankings, I actually have Lamar at my QB 6.
Moving up in the world?
No, I used to have him at like QB 12 or 13. I wasn't touching him at all.
That's disrespectful.
It was. I looked at it again and I'm like, I mean, I was looking at the number. We're getting closer, man. We're diving into numbers now, and I'm like, you can't disregard that running potential, because in fantasy, that's huge. It's huge.
It's not just the running, but I agree with you. So,
and now he has weapons. I mean, again, Bateman, but again, he has Sammy and Hollywood.
So I'm saying Fantasy Pros has him ranked as number 4. They have him ahead of Dak. So obviously, we're a little mixed up and all that stuff. I didn't talk about the quarterbacks like Josh Allen, Kyler Murray. I'm not touching them at their draft positions, because we're watching them go off the board in the first and second round. Like, I'll wait and get a Lamar or get a Dak. You know what I mean? Like, give me a Herbert or Russell. Not to go back to the quarterbacks, but that's just one thing that I was thinking. I know we're on running backs, right? We're talking about people that we're trending down on, avoiding. Somebody I'm avoiding I don't want to say at all costs, right? Because it's all like if they drop to the right position,
relative,
I'll
yeah.
take them. I'm not digging the Kamara. He's not the only one. We've seen Jonathan Taylor up there in the top 5. But I'll focus on Kamara. I've said this stat before. I felt like it was pertinent that I bring it up again for people that didn't watch. Kamara without Breeze, 110 carries, 468 yards, 5 touchdowns. He's averaging 50-something yards a game without Breeze. I'm just not buying that. The Saints are respectfully falling apart. I'm really avoiding as many Saints players as I can. I know I've been in a jam where I'm like, shit, let me grab Taysom. It happens, right? Because I do think that Taysom's going to have that job over Jameis. I think people are taking Jameis too high, but I get it. We don't know what's going to happen there. I've seen even in our chat rooms, and it makes a lot of sense. They're like, hey, Taysom's going to have it for the first 80 yards, right? Talking about if they're driving the whole field. And then, or opposite, Jameis is going to be the quarterback there, and then Taysom's going to be the red zone quarterback. We don't know, but I really think, like, even though he has voidable contracts, all that kind of stuff, you didn't pay Taysom all that money. You're not giving him the first round reps 3 out of the 4 spring training days a week. You know what I mean? Like, I just think it's Taysom's job. But neither here nor there. Kamara, I'm just not feeling, and I'm not feeling Jonathan Taylor would be 2 guys that I'm highly down on. On top of Najee, Saquon, you know.
What makes you down on Jonathan Taylor? Just the run backfield that they got over there?
I mean, what doesn't? We were seeing Naheem Hines. He was vulturing touchdowns. You got Marlon Mack back. Marlon Mack lost his job off of injury. He was a starting running back. I know Jonathan Taylor did great. They have a great offensive line. I just don't see him when he was up there in the top 5, even there at 8, right? Like, we're talking about him over. I'll just read the next couple guys: Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson. Give me a Gibson or Eckler all day over Jonathan Taylor. Over actually all of them at this point. I'm not even talking about Aaron Jones's minute injury that he has right now. Like, Eckler's got the best offensive tackle that came out of the rookie draft. They're showing videos against him and Bosa. He's holding it down. Like, you just picked up a solid ass tackle. Like, and Eckler. So what Anthony's the one who kind of got me scared on Eckler, because he's talking about, like, dude, his muscle got ripped off the bone, all that kind of stuff. Like, it's hard to come back from for sure. But Jonathan Taylor, like, now you don't have Carson Wentz. Like, are we worried about Eason throwing the ball? Or am I stacking the box against Jonathan Taylor?
Stacking the box,
and he's
exactly.
Yeah, and he's not even a guy that I would stack the box against. Like, I'm not overly worried about Jonathan Taylor. But if they spread the offense out, which they can't now, like, we're just going on, like, really fantasy. We're just going off, like, I'm not talking about football, like, just fantasy shit that Carson Wentz is going to be a deep threat now and open up the field, and the resurgence of T.Y. Hilton and all this. Like, I'm not buying none of that shit.
No,
Right.
I think that the Colts are going to be good, but I'm just not buying that shit. I'm not buying the Saints shit. I'm just saying we're stuck in our ways, and I know. Sorry, I'm taking the mic hell long.
No, preach, brother, preach.
No,
hey, we're stuck in our ways, dude. Because we had the Phillip Rivers, and we're like, oh my god, the Colts are going to be this, they're going to be that. But, like, we're talking about Phillip Rivers, and now we're talking about Carson Wentz. Like, there's a huge difference. I'll take 50-year-old Phillip Rivers over 20-year-old Carson Wentz. I know I just hate the guy, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Phillip Rivers is slinging that freaking rock all day, dude. Justin Herbert did come in, and he made things happen. And they really are trying to build offense around him. They got rid of their starting quarterback. They punctured his lungs, sent him packing. Like, they did that man dirty. It's probably the worst treated person in the NFL. Kaepernick's up there. You know, hey, we won't get into that. But whole different subject. But man, yeah. So I'm up on Herbert. I'm down on them. I'm up on Eckler. I'm super down on Kamara, Taylor, Saquon, Najee, and it's at their draft position.
That's nice.
That's where they're getting taken, right? Where they're getting drawn at. I like Najee, though. I don't agree with you on Najee, but
I love Najee as a person.
I do agree that I would take Aaron Jones, Najee, Eckler, and Gibson over Taylor at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Steelers line fell apart.
That's probably where I draw the line because Dobbs is after that.
Big Ben's a 50-year-old raping machine. Like he's on the brinks. They have 3 good receivers. I just don't see it. But I like Najee. Hey, you guys know I was talking about Najee a year ago. Like, hey, when Najee comes out, he went to Steelers. I'm like, now I have to hate this guy.
That's just, like, no, I have to hate him.
You give me a choice between Joe Mixon. Hey, you give me a choice between Joe Mixon and Najee. And who you taking?
Najee.
I'm taking.
What's hilarious is I have Mixon, of course, as my RB to avoid. But what's funny is I literally have him as my RB13 because I know that's where the industry has him and where you kind of should take him. Just I don't even believe in that ranking. I just, I'm just not touching him. You know what I mean? Like I think he should go there, and if he's there, you should get him.
Yeah.
But like I'm taking Chris Carson and David Montgomery if I'm staring at, Mixon
Back.
at the top of that board.
Back.
So it's, it's tough. Like I used to be a big Mixon fan, man. I used to think he was the second coming of Le'Veon Bell. I used to call him Baby Bell, if you guys remember, blowing up your texts and sending you guys. Yeah, and he was, man. But those injuries caught up to him. That Liz Frank injury last year was nasty. I called it from the get out. Everybody thought he was coming back. I was like, he is not coming back from that, if you guys remember. I was telling Dustin all year to drop him or trade him. He wouldn't listen to me. He held on to him. And he did him dirty, and he's drinking the Kool-Aid again this year. I'd have to just tell you, man, he's a year older. He's not going to bounce back that much faster. His body's kind of tore up when you're talking feet and stuff like that for a running back, man. Just those things don't mix. It's still a terrible offensive line. They got a quarterback that wants to throw the ball 60 times a game. He's not checking down. He's throwing to his best friend, Jamar Chase. He has Higgins and Boyd there. I mean, I'm avoiding Mixon like the plague.
Hey, Jamar Chase is the only, I want to say like rookie receiver, but like probably the only person in spring training that I heard like, hey, he's not what we thought he was. Like, he's not getting separation like I thought he was going to get. Like, hey, we keep saying like, stop believing everything you hear in spring training, but like they're like, hey, it's not what we thought it was. Like, we may have messed up.
Yeah, but who's going to wait? Who's going to be a waiver wire pickup? And going on what you were saying right there, I always was a fan of Gio Bernard because Joe Money Mixon would go down. Gio would come in for 1 or 2 games and blow it up, and then actually have a 2 bad games. So you're looking at Samaje Perine to be the guy coming up after him. That he's going to be that streamer. I guarantee you, he's going to be on the waiver wire at some point in the season, and people are going to start picking him up because Joe Money Mixon is going to have some issues, and he's going to get some touches at some point. He may not play a game, and I guarantee you he'll be on the waiver wire. He's going to be a waiver wire pickup this year, Samaje Perine.
And if you're deep,
he did it last year with the Jets, right?
Yeah, last year with the Jets, yeah. And then they sent Gio to, where did they send him to? KC, right?
Tampa Brady.
Yeah. It was. Tampa Bay.
Yep.
But rich get richer, right?
Hey, so one name I thought you guys were for sure gonna say if we're talking down
Josh
on
Jacobs.
him.
I didn't get my chance. I just had to unleash my fire on Mixon first because he's ranked higher.
Man.
Now I'm raining down my hate on Josh Jacobs, man. I just don't see.
I almost thought that was like common
knowledge, right? Yeah, I was like, you guys know, man, where he's going. I'm not taking him anywhere. I'm happy to see he's been falling, farther and farther in our drafts.
Which he should not.
I mean, he went at the 4-2 in our 1 QB draft earlier today in our mock.
Hey.
So, but hey, we're live. It's all good. But yeah, so again, he's just someone I'm not taking as an RB2. I still see people draft him as an RB2. I'm not drinking that Kool-Aid. I'd probably much rather have like ETN as an RB2, just with the potential upside that could bring, especially in a PPR. I don't like the line, split backfield with Drake. We've been talking about it this whole time. It is what it is, man. I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole reason they brought it in. And I heard or read something about the number of carries he's had, and the fact that Chuck could probably drive him into the ground. So who knows? It might be one of those things where, yeah, he gets all the carries, and next you know he's done for the rest of his career, or he's going to start splitting it up with Drake so that he's actually doing well there, and you know managing his touches. You know what I mean? Like that's all you really need is manage the touches. That sometimes they did that with who was it, Zeke even when they had an injury, and they were just like, hey, not that many touches, and here you go.
Mm-hmm.
Just still down on him. We'll to see.
I'm not okay. I'm down on him on last year's ADP. Not, I can't put him down on this year's ADP. All right, he's the 16th ranked running back.
No way.
Right now. I'm saying per Fantasy Pros, they have him as the 16th ranked running back.
I know.
Why is Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt? Why is Nick Chubb up there in the top 5? Arguably, right? 6, 7, whatever you guys have him at. Because Frank, I know you had a bout where you were but he was ranked 5th for you, but you hated Nick Chubb, but he was your 5th ranked running back.
Well, you got to make sure.
Why can't the Raiders do that?
But you got to keep up with the stats and just reality because he's scoring those fantasy points, right?
Josh Jacobs' numbers last year were ridiculous. Kenyon Drake's numbers were too, but so is Kareem Hunt before you try to kick girls in hotel lobbies. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they can kind of emulate the same thing, and then I think Kenyon Drake to me has a lot more upside than Josh Jacobs because you still we draft with a lot of Raider fans, right? Like we're here in California, so it's not for everybody. Your hometown people, wherever you're at, they're going to get drafted higher than anybody else. Go draft in New York, Saquon's going to be top 3. Like nowhere else in the world is going to be top 3. So here, we're going to get Josh Jacobs might go in the 2nd round. Like we've seen a lot of drafts where I'm bringing my people in, they're Raider fans, and they're taking Josh Jacobs. Like, dude, give me a Kenyon Drake. Josh Jacobs gets hurt again, and then now I got Kenyon Drake at crazy value down here, and he's going to be the starting running back. Like, Kenyon Drake's no sucker, bro. He's fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, at RB40, I'll take some Kenyon Drake as my RB45 all day.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in with 29 round draft right now, slow draft. Like, shoot him to me. Hey, sorry. I know we beat this subject there. I didn't get to talk. There's a lot like lower ones like James Robinson, Myles Gaskin, Mostert, Melvin Gordon. Like a lot of people that I wanted to talk about, and we have a lot more shows. It's just our first show. We're excited, so we're going to keep going on these guys. But on to wide receivers. And I guess we're almost at the hour mark, so if we want to keep it a little briefer than what I've been.
It's all good.
I got 2 guys
running backs
receivers.
take a lot of time. You know, they take a lot of time.
Yeah, they do.
We love them. We love them.
Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead.
Well, I got 2 wide receivers that I'd be looking at to target. Not necessarily early, but just definitely keep an eye on. And that's it. Mecole Hardman and Russell Gage. Mecole Hardman has been coming up, and he's the number 2 over there now.
Do the whistle again. Loved it. Loved it.
Right,
I think you can do it on demand. It was like it was in the moment.
Right, yeah. I can't. I could. I was like, "What do you mean? What whistle?" I was like, "It just happens." But again, Russell Gage. Now that Julio Jones is out of Atlanta, and you got Calvin Ridley there, I think he's going to have a decent year being the number 2. He's been progressing in his NFL career here, so I think it's a guy that I want to target. Not necessarily, but again, later picks. And Mecole Hardman as well. I think those are going to be some guys that will give you some steady Eddie money on eventually into this season. So definitely guys you want to look at.
That's hilarious. You took 2 of my 3 lower round guys, so I'm going to just finish that off and just jump in there and say Henry Ruggs is growing on me, even though I had all that hate about everything else.
Derek
Carr, where you're getting and all that, and
Mike Strahan
line and all that stuff. I am kind of liking what I'm hearing out of Raiders camp about Ruggs. He was the number 1 pick, the number 1 receiver in the NFL draft last year. I think he was drafted that way for potential reasons.
Hey, thank you.
But it was the Raiders, but we'll see. So I mean, the man is fast. If Derek Carr can throw it to him, we'll see what happens. But again, I don't want to spend too much time on him.
I'm going in on Ruggs when I get the bike.
No, like I said, it's because he took my 2 other guys that were worth talking about. He was just there in case you guys took Gage and Hardman from me. But my guy that I had number 1 on my list that I love where he's going in drafts is Deontay Johnson. He's the guy I'm kind of looking at. If I can get him as a nice, wide receiver 2 high end. If I'm going really running back heavy and I can get him as a wide receiver 1, I'm kind of okay with that. Just because I know the wide receiver position is deep, and I can kind of put together a nice little streaming option there at wide receiver. Again, more in a 1 QB league, in a maybe half PPR and standard. But he's definitely a guy I'm looking at with the potential targets he has and the growth he can have. That's a guy I'm looking at.
All right, so I'll make it quick. My list. Hey, this is no surprise, but I think AJ Brown's going to move up. He's getting Julio. And I'll just jump into the other one. Like, I like a lot of late round picks. My 2 late round picks was kind of Robbie Anderson, Corey Davis, like those guys. I'm down on Calvin Ridley where he's at. I know he got almost 1,400 yards last year. I get all that. But I want to say this. I drank the juice on McCole Hardman last year, and he has everything what it takes. He's like a John Ross. He had everything it takes. He's fast. He does all that kind of stuff. Like, Byron Pringle is going to be the number 2 wide receiver there. I'll do a gentleman's bet on it if you wanted to, but I'll leave that one alone. I'm just more so on that hype.
No, I picked the Pringle. Yeah.
I know, bastard. Hey, bastard, I wanted him.
I'm right there with you.
We all have.
Hey, Henry Ruggs. I just want to thank the Raiders organization for a lot of things. Like, let's think about what they did, right? We won't get into Khalil trade, none of that. Like, they're still suffering from this stuff. And I'm a Chucky fan. I really am. I thought he would turn him around, all that kind of stuff. So, you got Tradus Amari first round. Use that first round to take Ruggs. Like, and then we're like, what? This dude CeeDee Lamb still out here? Like, let us get CeeDee Lamb. Hey, when we were totally needing defense, we wanted defense. We were like, dude, how do we pass up on freaking CeeDee Lamb? Arguably the best wide receiver in the draft. Like,
Justin Jefferson.
Raiders are just yeah, okay. I said arguably, so I'll give you.
And I was just throwing the argue out there.
Justin Jefferson is 100% fair. Like, hey, you're right.
Hey, they're right
You can
there
argue.
with each other, though. They're
Yeah, you
right
can
there
argue.
with each other.
But just saying, like, hey, the Raiders.
Jefferson, it only gets at the edge because he's getting featured over there.
Yeah. Hey, but the Raiders, you basically traded Amari Cooper for Henry Ruggs. Like, Henry Ruggs, you better do something. Like, we're reading these articles. I read everything and I see everything you say. Like, and like, hey, I'm glad your reading comprehension is good, but like, that's not going to help you on the field, my man. Derek Carr's a dink and dunk quarterback. I like Derek Carr, right? He's going to do okay. Like, he's like a Kirk Cousins to me. Like, I'm not like, oh my God, let me get Derek Carr. Damn, that's 5. Hey, but like, that's what you're basing your future off of, like, crazy. So thank you, Raiders organization. I'm sorry, I already said my guys. Calvin Ridley, you're going down because there's no Julio to take coverage off you. And then we're talking about Mike Davis and Quadri Allison. Like, it sounded good in the last segment when we were talking about running backs, but like right now, like,
Yeah.
if I sack in the box against you, I'm gonna just open up. I'll put 3 guys on Calvin Ridley, and I'll be safe guarding the running game there. Like,
Yeah. They're talking crazy now.
Or is
hey,
it?
there's
It's
no.
like, I like the guys now. You don't like the guys now. I'm stacking the boxes. Come on now.
It's all in the tape.
Yeah.
Man. It's all in the tape.
Right.
That's why they should be different episodes. And I'll be like Skip Bayless when he's arguing against himself.
Right.
I actually have more notes on tight ends than I do on wide receivers because it's like I said, AJ Brown, you're going up because you got Julio taking the distraction away. So look what Calvin Ridley did in your position, and now vice versa. Calvin Ridley, you got nobody else. Like Kyle Pitts is who we're worried about, a rookie tight end. Like, he's going to be good, but like, name the last time you've seen a rookie tight end that was like, oh my God. Like, if we're sorry, I shouldn't go into tight ends, you know what I mean?
Why not? Let's go. Talk about tight ends.
Yeah, I have nothing to say, so just go ahead and go on. I'm good.
Hey, tight ends?
I'm avoiding
tight ends?
maybe I'll
but just talking about like Hey, look at some of the best tight ends that are in the league. Didn't start off in the league as tight ends. This isn't a Tebow thing, but hey, like how Tebow, people just transition to tight end. Logan Thomas transitioned to tight end. Darren Waller, I'm not talking shit. I'm happy he got recovered, everything else. Like, dude, he played another position, got hooked on all kind of drugs, and came back and is like one of the best tight ends in the league. Like, they just don't get paid, so they're not desirable. Like, I got to block like a lineman. I got to catch like a receiver. Like, oh, no. Mine, to me, the ones that I'm up on tight ends, Logan Thomas and Higbee, per their draft position. I don't know if you guys
just at their ADP, based on their ADP. I like Logan Thomas. I'm in the middle of Tyler Higbee. Take him or leave him, honestly.
I think a lot of it is Matt Stafford.
I defer my time to you guys and to the viewers.
Yeah, because hey, so here's my thing on Higbee.
Get one of the top 3, or just wait till the 11th or 12th. I mean, that's whoever's there. Just grab one.
And be careful on Waller. If you look, like he was average half the season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and to follow Anthony's note, if you don't get those top guys, here's 2 guys you can fall back on. I think is Irv Smith and Gerald Everett. I think Gerald Everett is a deep sleeper at 180, getting drafted there, and Irv Smith still at 145. I think those are guys you can get late in your draft, and you know they'll do right by you. Give them a shot. If you've missed out on those top 3-4 guys, this is what you're left with, and I would definitely pick those 2 guys up if I have an opportunity.
Yeah, hey, I'm not mad at either of those. With Higbee, I really think the reason I'm so big on Higbee made Hawkinson. Like, Hawkinson's good, right? If you get into the NFL, you're good. If you're a tight end, you're good. Like, we get it. He's baby Gronk, whatever everybody wants to call him. But, like, that's because Stafford moved to a new team. Stafford he's taking that middle route to my tight end. So his tight end is going to be Higbee, in my opinion. That's why I'm like, hey, I'm cool with rocking with Higbee. It's kind of like Noah Fant. They're splitting. They're going to split him out, right? He's going to, bro, he plays as a receiver half the time. He got injured a lot last year. That's kind of what changed our opinion. That kind of stuff. The tight end I'm down on, this is going to be any secret. I'm sure you guys all agree with me. Tonyan.
Yep, that's who I had my guy on down on. Yep.
We all should be, right? As far as ADP, 52 receptions last year, 586 yards, and we're talking about he's like, people are throwing him in the top 4 or 5. Like,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
He's drafting way too high for what he may or may not do for you. Way too high. I don't think he has as good an opportunity as everybody else. Well, then again, Aaron Rodgers is back, and the crew's back. Maybe he'll start off where he left off last year. I'm just not sold on it. I think he's just going too high for his ADP, and you can get other guys just as good four rounds later, literally.
Randall Cobb is going to clobber this guy's stats. And I get it. I'm comparing a wide receiver to a tight end, that kind of thing. But I'm just saying, like, people have wrote off Randall Cobb, and it's like, who wants to talk about Tonyan? You know what I mean? I'd rather talk about Randall Cobb at this point. 52 receptions, 586 yards, 11 touchdowns. 3 of them were in the same game. Like, he never broke 100 yards the entire year last year. The most targets he ever got in a game, 7. Like, that's
crazy,
not
right?
But Rodgers, this is the magician shit. Rodgers knows when he's jumping people off sides and he's throwing the ball up to somebody. So Tonyan's going to get some love sometimes, but it's going to be Devontae. It's going to be Randall Cobb, that kind of stuff, like chemistry. That's my thing. And I know you don't want to talk about tight ends, but
I'm good.
Next. Did you really just next this whole topic? That was dirty.
Yeah, he didn't even care.
Hey, you just ready to say bye?
Yeah, I'm good.
And that's literally why. That's
you guys
where
know.
He's gonna.
I mean, that's where I'm
downfall.
at, man.
Your Achilles heel right there, not caring.
I'll trade for one. I'm trying for one of those top 3 guys, and I'll have the running backs to do it later. So.
Hey, now we know. Hey, look at Logan Thomas too. So Logan Thomas is up there. He averaged over 7 targets a game.
Mm-hmm.
He had 110 total, which puts him at, I think, 4th out of all tight ends. He killed it. Hey, now you got Ryan Fitzmagic over there. You know how he is. Hey, he finds his guys and he just keeps going.
Gesicki had good numbers over there last year, so I don't see, he definitely targets that tight end down the seam. He'll take that shot or that nice out route right there. Thomas is a nice big target. So I mean, I like him. But again, it's just like, when I get down to that 11th, 12th round, whatever tight ends there in that range, I'm going to grab them.
Who cares?
Yeah, whether it's Higbee, whether it's Irv Smith, whether it's, even Cole Kmet.
Hey, what are they, orange? I'm grabbing the first orange guy on the list. I don't know. Hey, Troutman. Hey, cool.
Come over here. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Whoever
anybody else wants, I'll take whoever it is because I'm going to be streaming them all off the waiver wire anyway. So I'll find who has the good matchups and, who starts getting some love later. None of these guys that we're talking about after the top 3, top 5 are built into their offensive game plan. So it's just
this is your chance for Cole Kmet.
It's your no, but I mean he's again. I'll take him. I mean I like him there. Again, Dalton targets.
I'll take anybody there.
I'll take him. Yeah, as long as it's there. Like
if you're there in the last round, you're on my target board, dude.
Yeah, you're my guy. Like don't worry.
The last
I got
on the board. I'm taking. That's the guy.
I got
taking,
you.
Right?
Yeah, I got you, bro. There's a spot on my team for you when you're there on the 13th. Don't worry. You won't go undrafted. Like I got you. If you're the best who's left, you're on my team. Welcome to the Rostaholics.
Actually,
let's get the hell out of here, man. All right,
guys. Hey, appreciate both of you guys. Appreciate everybody for watching all that kind of stuff. Like we said, you guys feel like you can contribute something, let us know. If you haven't checked out the website, like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff, all that kind of good stuff we're supposed to say every show. Other than that, man, I'm excited. Hey, football starts tomorrow, boys, so it's going to get real.
Preseason games tomorrow. We're going to be checking out. I'll be definitely watching everything that happens. And, maybe have some, love for some guys and some hate for some other guys, right?
We'll see.
I'm going
to see some Gibson, man. I want to see some Gibson tomorrow.
Yeah.
I want to see. I'm excited. Let's go.
Let's go, right?
Why not play?
All right, guys.
All right, boys. All right, hey, guys. You can roll your sleeves down, guys.
Peace out.
Hey.
Oh, it's on me. I got to do it. I got you.